What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's another week. Joey Works back from Run Pure Bets, back again, another UFC fighter. This week we got a pretty funny guy as well, UFC light heavyweight Mike Rodriguez. What's up, Mike?
What's happening, man? How you doing?
Appreciate you taking the time. So
No problem.
to start, I know you've been busy lately, fighting twice in the last 2 months in August and September. Obviously, impressive first round knockout of Maurice and Impregnado. Then what a crazy fight you had last time out. You know, going from knocking out Ed Herman in the second round to eventually getting subbed in the third. I mean, I love that Dana paid you your win bonus because after rewatching the tape, you rightfully deserved it. What was going on in your head when Ed acted as you hit him below the belt and then the ref stepped in to give him time to recuperate, when in reality you really knocked the wind out of him and it should be a stoppage victory?
Well, I didn't want to do it. I just was like, you know what? Whatever. Because it's like I went for that same shot. I hit it before on teammates, and I did hit him below the belt. In fact, my teammate Ross Levine, during the Petrino camp, him and I was over and unders, and I did that same, and I hit him with a knee. And it's like kind of the same kind of knee, and I hit him below the belt. It happened twice back to back. So I was like, oh, you know, maybe I did. You know what I mean? I'm like, maybe I did, whatever. But still stay locked in the game because he's going to milk his 15 minutes. So, you know, just get ready for the next 15. I mean, there's 5 minutes and just get ready for the next 5 minutes. So I'm all right. So I'm sitting back and I just chilled. And something told me, because I hear Bisping said something behind me. His corner reacted a certain way. And like you hear like a couple faint voices in the back of people react the same way. And so I'm like, all right, whatever. So I didn't think nothing of it. And then all of a sudden, Joe in my corner, he's like, what? He's like, that's crazy. And then my Muay Thai coach, Jake, was like, oh, fucking cocksucker. And I was like, what the hell happened? And something told me to look up. I look up at the replay, and I hit him below, and then it hit him below the belt. I was like, oh, man. And I was just like, fuck it, whatever. It is what it is. Just go back out there and just try to put it on him.
Yeah.
So and that's what I did. And I just try to continue to win the fight. And then the third round, I just was trying to finish him at that point. I was like, I'll finish him. But, you know, you live and die by the sword.
Yep. So. Have you had any conversations with the ref from that night?
No. But everybody was tagging me in something that he messed up the week after with what's her name? Little Thick. I just know they call her like Little Thick on Instagram. Jesse, I gotta remember the girl, but she needed her in the nose. She needed the other girl in the nose. The girl's nose was broken. And I guess she like slumped down on the cage, but her butt was coming down to the cage, but it didn't touch the floor. It stopped on the cage because her back was still on the cage. And so they I guess he was like, no, stop the fight. They replayed it, and then he was like, continue. And then Paul Felder was like, I never seen that happen before. Like, he's like, he's like, that's crazy. And then, like, as you watch, if you ever go back, watch that fight. The fight after that, and you'll hear it. And I was like, oh, because someone sent me the clip. And they're like, yo, he messed up again.
Yeah.
So that just reinforced my manager, Tyson Chartier. Like, it just reinforced his appeal. So,
yeah,
there you have it.
All right, cool. Well, so I always like to ask fighters how they got into the MMA world. I like the different answers are always intriguing. So how did you start getting into MMA?
So it all started from fighting high school. So I was in the high school cafeteria. I was going to play Magic with my buddy Reese. So I'm cutting across the hallway. I come across the cafeteria. I'm walking toward him. And at the time, everybody was playing that. What's the capital of Thailand? And like, what? Bangkok. Like, you know, everybody was playing that. So that was like a big thing. And mind you, like I was like 6'2". So I'm walking and, you know, I got an 83-inch wingspan. So my arms like fucking, they hang over. So I'm like sitting there and walking. And I just, boom, we bump shoulders. And I just happened to hit him in the balls. And he was like, what the fuck? And he snatched me up and was like, yo, I'm tired of you and your fucking friends, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what? And I had a strawberry milk in my hand. So I just cracked him with it, hit him with a 1-2, knocked him out, left him on the cafeteria. Everybody was like, oh shit. People still talk about it to this day. And my teacher grabbed me. He was like, yo, what the fuck? And I'm like, what happened? He's like, yo, first of all, like, have you ever had any training? I'm like, nah. He's like, all right. He's like, well, So that was pretty impressive the way he did that. Like, yeah, he's like, you ever heard? He was like, you should check these DVDs out, and he gave me a bunch of Pride DVDs. At the time, I didn't know. It just said Pride FC. I didn't know what the hell this was. So I'm like, all right, cool. And so I go put in my PS2, turn it on, and all of a sudden, the first fight I saw was Shogun versus Little Nog, 2005 Grand Prix, and I was glued since then, man.
Yeah,
I was glued since then, and then he scooped me up after school. I was at home. He drove to my house, picked me up, and brought me to my first gym, which was Boston Muay Thai Academy in Dorchester. They only had Muay Thai there. Well, they had jiu-jitsu like twice a week, but most of the time it's all Muay Thai. It was a solo Muay Thai gym. But yeah, man, that's where I started, and then it just grew from there.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a cool story. All right, so also I know you have the nickname Slow. And that's like a rather unlikely fighter nickname. So I was wondering how that came about.
So I am. First of all, I just like because a lot of people always like some people like, oh, I don't think that's like right or whatever. Like they think so. I'm a type of person that, growing up in the hood, you get nicknames. That's your nickname.
Yeah,
like, you can't change it. That's just what it is. Like you see big dudes named Tiny. Like, why you call him Tiny? It's a nickname. So when nicknames stick, where we're from, it just stick. So we was at the gym at Lozon's. And my boxing coach, Steve Mays, was the first time I ever hit mitts with him. He's like, oh, yeah, he's like, oh, yeah, whatever. He used to call me Big Mike. He'll see me around the fights and, oh, Big Mike. And he tell me, he's like, yeah, come hit the mitts. I'm like, all right, cool. And he invited me, and I hit the mitts. He was like, holy shit. He was like, everybody, the whole room was shocked. They're like, yo, you're so slow, dog. He was like, yo, you're molasses. So he's like, this is terrible. So I'm like, oh, damn. And then around the gym, everybody, slow mic. All right, man.
And it stuck, yeah.
It just stuck.
Yeah. All right, that's funny. All right, so obviously you fought twice recently, but do you have a target return date for your next fight, maybe even possibly an opponent?
I honestly, I want to fight Shogun. I'll be real. I want to fight Shogun. I know last summer when he fought Lil Nog the third time over the summer.
Yep.
He in his post fight, he was talking about that. Like he got like 1 or 2 fights on his contract. He'll see whatever. I want one of them 1 or 2 fights. I mean, I know he's like he's on a little tear. He's on a little streak.
Yes, he is.
So I got to get there. But I want one of those 1 or 2 fights. I think it's like in a situation of what's happening on Saturday. Like that would be cool for me to headline a little small card against him.
Absolutely.
I would fucking love that.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm pulling for that too. So if it's all right with you, we'll run through your thoughts on tomorrow's main card, UFC Fight Night event.
Yep.
Sweet. So the first fight is Bobby Green versus Thiago Moses. Mm-hmm. Bobby Green enters this fight on a 3-fight win streak, looks to break the record with fastest 4 wins in the UFC at 128 days, almost 4 months. So he's off 8 straight decisions. Like he obviously likes to grind out at fights, tries to pick apart his opponents. I think he has a clear advantage here on the feet. And throws much more volume. As for Thiago, he enters off an ankle lock win in Michael Johnson, in which the first round Mike basically beat him up the whole round. He probably might have won the first round 10-8. Then Thiago immediately goes for takedown in the second round and gets a tap 25 seconds into the second round.
That was over the summer, right?
Yes. Yeah, not too long ago. Yep. Moises has never been finished in his career. I think basically his path to victory is using his grappling to his advantage and trying to get a submission. What do you think about this first fight?
I'm gonna go with Bobby. Reason being, he's hot right now.
Yep,
he's hot right now. So coming off big momentums like that, it's tough to fight. It's like because so much like pressure at the end of the day is some sort of a real thing, and like he's coming off some heat.
Yep.
So I think it's gonna be a tough fight for Thiago, and we know Bobby is not. He's not a slow starter. He's not going to let Thiago get his groove and try to, start connecting and set up his takedowns. I don't see that happening. I think it's going to take too long for him to do that, and Bobby's going to beat him to the punch. So I'm going with Bobby.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, it's hard to root against guys like Bobby Green.
I think Bobby's going to do it.
Sweet. All right, so the next fight is Greg Hardy versus Maurice Green. Greg Hardy now 3-2 in his UFC career. He's off a decision victory over Jorgen Castro.
Mhm.
He's going to look to probably stand and pick apart Maurice here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a TKO if these two start standing for a good amount of time. Maurice Green, he's off a third-round choke of Gian Vellante, in which he was on the bottom. Very impressive, as probably if it went to the judges, he more than likely might have lost the fight. 8 of his last 10 fights have been stopped before the final bell. I definitely don't expect the judges to get a hold of this heavyweight bout. What do you think about this one?
I got to go with my man Green. We're both signed on the top game for life. And also, I just want to see him like do really well. Like he's such a great guy. He's such a good dude. He did a little documentary where he traveled across country and everything, and I seen it on IG. It was touching. It was nice. You know, it showed a side to the fight life that people don't see. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel for him. So I'm going with him. All respect to Greg Hardy for turning everything around in his life, but yeah, I didn't want to see this fight, but I got to go with Green. That's my guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
All right, cool. So next fight we got is Kevin Holland versus Charlie Ontiveros. So Kevin Holland has been very busy lately. This will be his 4th fight since May. He fought in May, August, September, and now October. He has won all 3 of his fights going into this one, and he's finished 2 of the 3. He has finished 15 of his 19 professional wins and looks to capitalize on his 5-inch reach advantage here to get a stoppage. This is a late replacement in Charlie Ontiveros. He gets his first UFC fight tomorrow. He fought in LFA, Fury FC, Bellator, and Legacy FC previously. He is 11-6 overall on a 2-fight win streak. With his last 5 fights, none of them seeing a judge's decision. I think his plan fits right into Kevin Holland's strength, as he likes to keep a lot of his fights standing. So this will be a big step up in competition for Charlie. I'm excited to see his game plan. What do you think about this one?
It's going to be tough. I think I seen that kid fight because I'm a geek for the sport, so I watch like smaller shows too.
Yep.
And I think I watched maybe his last fight. I'm trying to see. I'm like, I think I seen that. But the kid's good. The kid's good. I would tell you that. But man, what's his name? Holland is so versatile.
Yep.
The dude can grapple. You know what I mean? Has he got any UFC, any submission wins yet?
I don't think so.
He's been knocking people out.
Yep. He's just been standing.
Yeah, man.
Apart.
He could grapple too. But he's so good. So who knows? If he mix it up, that's a dangerous man at 185. If he mixes it up, if he just switch up everything on him and keep people guessing, he'll be a problem. I'm gonna go Holland. I think experience, that the fact that he's very well versatile. It's tough to go against that. So I'm gonna go Holland.
All right, cool. So now we got the co-main event. It's Andre Fili versus Bryce Mitchell. Andre, a vet, has been in the UFC since 2014. He fought Max Holloway, Yair Rodriguez, Calvin Kattar, Dennis Bermudez, Miles Jury, to name a few. He has a inch height advantage and a 4-inch reach advantage. I expect him to try to probably make this into a boxing match and use his reach advantage to pick apart a young Bryce Mitchell. As for Bryce, he's 13-0 in his professional career. This is definitely a big step up in competition for him, as this will be only his 4th UFC fight. I expect him to try to grapple, try winning this fight on the mat. I don't think he's particularly comfortable getting into a boxing match with Andre, and I'm interested to see, the longer this goes, how his cardio stands up. This will be a good one. What do you think about the co-main?
I like that Bryce Mitchell kid. I like him. When I saw him on Twitter with the camo shorts, I cracked up. That's awesome. But
they made him for him too.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Fili. I think just that veteran style. It to see the best of Mitchell, he might need to get humbled a little bit with Fili. That might be his humbling. So I'm gonna go with Fili. I think Fili's gonna do it. I think just that him being a veteran is gonna get it for him.
Yeah, that one's gonna be good.
Yeah.
So now we got the main event: Uriah Hall versus the great Anderson Silva. Uriah Hall is off a year layoff here. He's obviously gets the fight he always wanted. He's on a 2-fight win streak with wins over Bevan Lewis and Antio Carlos Jr. He has become pretty dependent on his knockout. He's a guy who likes to wait and counterpunch, but I'm not sure we can trust him to push the activity here, especially with this being 5 rounds. 45-year-old Anderson Silva, obviously great. He gets in there after a 1.5-year layoff. He's lost 6 of his last 7, but obviously to really great fighters: Jared Cannonier, Israel Adesanya, DC, Bisping, Weidman. So he's undoubtedly one of the GOATs, but late in his career, he has slowly declined. This should be an interesting fight, as Uriah Hall is a guy who really pushes the pace. So I would love for Anderson to get a win on a supposed retirement fight, but I'm interested to see how this one goes. What do you think about the main event?
Like you said, I don't see either one of them. But I think people might actually be let down a little bit. I think it's gonna be kind of boring. I don't think it's gonna be as hyped. It's not, and it's not no knock to them.
No,
it's
absolutely.
because their fight styles are so similar. Obviously different, but very similar because they want to get that flashing counter. So they really they made their names off it. So I don't think this fight's gonna be as exciting as people think it's gonna be. Kudos for trying to hype it up, but yeah, it's just so I'm gonna go with I think I'll go with Uriah Hall.
Yeah.
And I think he'll win by taking the later rounds. I just think because we've seen Anderson in these type of fights multiple times.
Yep.
And it's boring for entertainment, but it's smart for fighting. You know what I mean? So it's and he just sticks to his game plan. He's very disciplined. So he's like, all right, well, I'm gonna continue doing what I'm doing. So, but I think Uriah will probably push the pace at the end. I think it's okay, come on, get it. And he's now at Fortis, so that's also something to take in.
Absolutely.
If I'm not, I think he said Fortis. They said Fortis. He was, because I saw their little countdown thing. Yeah. And he was saying he was at Fortis. So I don't know. He might come in with some bangers. So now that I think about that. But I think at some point he's going to have to push the pace if he wants that win. Somebody has to if they're going to want that win.
Yeah.
They're going to have to take the risk.
For sure. Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, Mike, I really appreciate you coming on the show. Is there anything you'd like to plug? I know you're a big video game guy. Maybe tell our followers where they can watch your streams.
Yep. So I stream every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 7:00. 7:00 Eastern PM Eastern time. You can follow me on Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter, Emerald MMA, at Emerald MMA. I don't really use Facebook. Just don't even send me anything on Facebook. I just don't even mess with it like that. It's too crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to thank my family, all my friends and family over there in the Siege community. Love them all. They're always holding it down, looking out. Obviously, shout out to my family as well. And give a shout out to you for interviewing me. Put me on your platform.
I appreciate your time, man. I really do.
Yeah. And I want to give a shout out to my sponsors. Yes. Collector's Cup. I want to give a shout out to Lozon, Diamond Cup, and Killcliff, and an organization I'm part of is called Modest Needs, and what they do is they take care of less fortunate families that's out there. Awesome. And now they're kind of in need of other people's help because of COVID. They have been able to work to help out other people. So that's what's going on now. So you can just check that out by modestneeds.org and donate, make a difference in someone's life. Yeah,
that's awesome that you're doing that.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Well, I mean, we're gonna be rooting for you in the future, that's for sure. I really appreciate your time. Thanks again, Mike.
Thank you, my man.
All right, buddy. All right, so I mean, another week, another great guest. Thanks again to Mike Rodriguez. What a cool ass dude that was. I mean, humble, down to earth fighter. Had nothing but good things to say. He's supporting a great organization. I'll tweet out the organization so you guys can back it and find it on the internet and whatnot. So obviously Saturday for subscribers only. Don't forget to catch us live, UFC Fight Night, live betting the whole night. Sunday we got a free show for everybody. Sunday NFL, baby. Make sure to cash some tickets with us on Sunday. Obviously, you got to follow us at Run Pure Bets on Twitter. We'll tweet it out for everybody to follow. Go to the website, runpurebets.com. You get all our picks for the weekend and going forward. Plus, you get all the live shows. Maxwell Smart's having a show after this. Obviously, I mean, you don't want to miss the Maxwell Smart show. Crazy things happen in there. We're running a special right now, 25% off first month. Use promo code BETS25 off. That's BETS 25 OFF. And then you get 25 off your first month. You get all the picks, whatnot. Make sure to hit that like button below. Subscribe to Run Pure Bets YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter at Joey Work. Follow Run Pure Bets on Twitter. Good luck, everybody, on your bets this weekend. Enjoy the fights. I'm out. Peace.